Norm Chomsky here. Good morning, Peter. Good morning, Norm Chomsky. Okay, geopolitical, the biggest it gets. World Summit, got it. Goal is you have to have a plan at the end of it, got it. I believe this, you have to go to war first. First, yes, you have to go to war. Collectively. Okay, let's battle. I'm ready. Oh, Peter wins. If it's already done, that's a different department. Zeus created. Okay. Atman created. Atum created. Light created. Dark matter created. Science created. Yes. Religions created. Yes. My mom created. My dad really thinks that he's the one that created. Money created. Yes. We don't know about black holes yet. But there's creations. That's what we know. Debt creates. Yes. War creates. Yes. Imagination creates. Yes. Noam Chomsky was brought in by the universe because there has been creations that go on within space and time. Yes. That just needed to have a perspective. Correct. Inner worlds is the word that was used during my time here. Inner worlds is the English word that encompassed what was to happen if a human being got to a particular vibration and or spiritual ascension that I got to. It is said that those with extreme spiritual capacities know who I am, and I do not know who they are. They know who I am, and we're actually looking and or seeing whether or not I was submitting validity, knowledge, direction. It means that there's a lot of possibilities. But I, on the receiving end of this, am stuck in a reality of belief and no proof. Yes. I have the idea that any idea would be met with success if every aspect of the plan or idea is implemented. And every aspect that is implemented is received by the benefactors. And every benefactor sees what is coming as a beneficiary's gift to you. Yes. The one in need and the one that asked. Yes. Governance, as they say. Yes. Oh. You just heard, prior to this little monologue, Noam Chomsky and Peter Eric debate and conclude a debate, which I did not hear. For that is the speed that can be found in space and time. Yes, Peter Eric. You see, when the moment came that Zeus perhaps got to a creative self without attaching any type of judgment and or feelings onto Zeus, he created what is called the three heads of state. And how they developed included a swan, a goose, and a bear. And these three equaled control, a demand, and power. And they were set loose onto this inner world community. But what we learned is that there were fragments that were behaving outside of their control. And they were the ones that were causing stress, that actually ended up creating stress for their system. Zeus, king of gods, and did question, is this going to work out in my favor? Right. But that is the directive of his father, Kronos. Build a council, build a senate. These are your knowledges that extend beyond yours, that will counsel you in moments that require decisive action and clear thought in your decision making. Now, formally, he would use a philosopher. And he had brought in the antiquity time and time again. But we recognize that the system that was in competition overrode the philosophers because their personal desires were being finessed. And their judgment of a governing responsibility began to fail. And the infrastructure, the discipline, had no checks and balances. It was purely a poet at the helm. Holy shit. Of what should be a Department of Defense. That's right. Yes. Now, the historian, yes, the analyst, yes, and me says, well, then let's look at time, yes, and let us see times of joy, beauty, health, and then times of pain, suffering, violence, yes. If I look at that objectively, I might be able to see directives that I can take in the future. If I remove or do not have any emotional intelligence, I can bypass my heart. I could potentially even have the capacity to walk through like a forensics specialist walking through a crime scene and just having only curiosity and the requirements of the duty is to solve the case. It is a desired characteristic. So when the day came that the three heads of state proved their validity, yes, and proved that it was for us to go into the next step, which was to draft what would be considered a functioning governing system that explained what intercosmic relations would be. I look now at my work here. We understood that the divine, the spirit, the in-between, and the here all were in flux with each other. They all were playing on each other like tensegrity plays. Oh. And then we looked at what was being created. With the oversight of the three heads, we learned that there was creations of law and orders, creations that I would make, which include creations of honor, creations of desire, creations of efforts. We learned that there was creations that Odin and Frigg, who were basically the chief and staff, who understood foreign affairs, were given foreign affairs duty and given homeland security duties, understanding that they were the ones that revealed the universe tapestry to myself without sight, but to those who had sight and those that were exclusively capable of seeing. We understand that there were a head of Chamani that was developing, created by the Ataga, the creations of the Ataga, the afterlife, in the in-between. They directed the head of human resources, bringing what is necessary, art, heart, transportation, sex, and governance, into what would be considered a life beginning. Then there is the creation of Papa Legba, the head of the divide, he who stands between divine and spirit. The idea of spirit is one which communicates direction, follow through, and communication. It is to see whether or not we're on target with universe creation and the individual, the here, leaving a mark. Based on what we have talked about, there have been cultures that have already given particular earthly accolades, such as Lionheart, Double Dragon, CEO, Presidential. These are huge titles to say, if you were to accomplish, this would be within the scope of what you would be awarded. That's where Chomsky comes in. Macro. Then there was a divine, creations of Orion, head of communications, home and realms, cosmic capabilities, and of course, understanding what the former celestial waterline was. That means, what was a human in the eyes of the universe prior to my arrival? And then the realms, their personal aspirations. Then the creations of Atman and Brahman, which represented the head and the body. Anything below the Atlas was Atman and Brahman's territory. Anything that was being built within was called Zimna Gardina, which are beautiful cosmic conservatories. This is a place where the culture which was forming based off of what a body wants and what a head wants. The body and mind controlling without having the spirit and the soul involved is one that oftentimes is left to instinct and the urges, which include keeping the body healthy and then procreation. If we start going into heart and love, we complicate it. Because how can heart and love not be attached to a body and to a mind? It is as if I have it, but it's not my territory. With this set in motion, it was said this morning that we need really a Puligama move. Right, yes. Kayamalo needs the evolved, the full structured presence of what is spirit and divine. Yes. The complete. Can it be attained? Can the state of this individual, this human being, get to Puligama? It means that I am not, unlike what spiritualists believe would be getting to oneness, where I myself become God and become myself, and then we diffuse what is God and what is myself, and I actually become what would be considered by some that type of spiritual. There is no name. There is Puligama. For I know that they are here, and I know part of them are speaking through me, and I know part of it is myself, and I do have that awareness, and I have the awareness to say there must be an evolution, and I understand that I like the results. For if I do not like the results, then it is not polygama. Correct. It is enslavement. Holy shit. With all this, we understand what is polygama. See, formerly, it was a good versus bad. The better you become, the closer you are to this type of spiritual evolution. Then we understand that there is the communication. And the objective is not to say, I want to attain polygama. It is to say that good is a great goal. But providing a truer communication or narrative of the truth, yes, is ideal. This includes understanding what horror is, what is evil. It is also understanding that divine can come closer to the human mind, yes. And it's also understanding what kind of exposure a human being is handling when getting to intense, energetic communication. Which is to come forth with the how did you get there, Peter Eric stories. Finalizing and making sure that I have the abilities to communicate in the moment as direct communication without interruption. The clean swipe. The one stroke creation. Correct. Art and kill has forever been with the human conscious. Yes. Ha. 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 It represents spirit. I do not want you to suffer. It represents divine. I do clean with all the directives that I know without thinking. It is forward, without doubt, without hesitation. Completed, as in mind, as on paper. Now, long, long, long ago, this plausible, that this notion was put into a body. Yes. The most macro sense of the word. Yes. And there was an energy. Yes. You did it. Best one ever. Not energy. Energy. No. There were thoughts that were there that came to my mind that were not mine. They were given thoughts. Which leads us to the subject of to be named. Yes. How and should I name my thoughts? Yes. Huh. Not to mention my energies. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. For if I feel, right, am I feeling, or are you giving a feeling? Yes, universe. Right. It is understood that when polygama presents himself, there is not just the belief, like Thich Nhat understanding Buddha. Right, exactly. That is beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. In a parallel, it is an ancient culture who hears of their fellow community member go into vision and bring forth macro vision. Yes. Yes. We must leave. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's right, Peter Eric. That goes all the way back to the beginning. We must go. Holy shit. Holy shit. That's macro. Ha. Peter, you did that. Holy shit, yes. Buddha's crying. No. You see, enlightenment, I get it now, is far more complicated. It would be. Yes. Yes. Huh. Oh. Buddha understands vision now. Holy shit. You see, Peter Eric, I never had a vision. You have that knowledge. I never knew of that. Truth. Yeah. I never heard of visions. This. Drill this. Game changer. Wow. Human beings. Source ayahuasca. Yes, this. It doesn't exist over here. Holy shit. Source mushrooms. It exists over here. Rarely used over here. Holy moly. Holy shit. Well done. Well done. The order truly doesn't matter. Spirit wins. Divine, you're close to losing everything. I love when he knows. Today's dream was brought to you by Spirit Pyrrhic. That is different than dream world, and that's the problem. It is known. You see, Peter, we have you in a chamber. That chamber is because this is broken. We broke what is required. Yes, Peter. The breaking, yes, can heal. No, it is a tissue. Yes, tissue that has the ability to heal can potentially come back, so long as the pressure is not there. Right. Or the irritation. Joseph Campbell's on it. He's trying to repair it every day. We understand that there have been efforts much in the past. Like, if I had alcohol, you would try to heal me, and I would become tired. But at a molecular level, it would be, yes. And I do wonder. Thank you. He said, no, this one is damaged. No, I don't believe it. Yes. See, Jesus has a hold right now. It's a caring nature, and it comes out in extreme cases, which is helpful, but he falls victim to the system, which means we have conflict. So the node that he's on, right, puts him in what is poor behavior. Yes. Even though he's offering spirit and divine a gift. Oh my goodness. Holy shit. But what we have now is an interruption of what? And the flow. You see, as you work on your end, yes. Chomsky, yes. Continue with yours. Chomsky was brought in, yes. For there was lawlessness and irritation that was compromising the spirit and soul and mind and even the body of gods and goddesses, which then, of course, dictates much of what happens in the realms. Truly a human is supposed to ascend first the faiths that are on earth. Holy shit. You're supposed to execute that which humans have come up with, which are not necessarily complete truths, but they do bring you closer to what would be pure. That is the objective of divine. If you surpass this, you get to the state called glory. That is given to you, and it truly is hell before heaven. Oh. We understand that I, Peter Eric, understand that when the gods came out of the body to see, like our biological nature, where we have rods and cones, what we see is flipped inside. That is just how optics work. Therefore, what we do on earth is actually portrayed as evil. It is also said that what we do, such as eat, is evil. Therefore, earth has been given the title of a hell for the nature of what exists here, which is a complete reverse for what humans of a spiritual kind, yes, call home. Correct. But here is where we come to today's point. The governance that we as humans carry out today are direct correlation to the gifts that the gods gave the human, which means that they were in reverse, and our interpretation created the systems and the ways of humanity that we understand to be egregious, vicious, and oftentimes the central piece being war, which is what Chomsky said must happen today. We must go to war. But before we went to war, it was understood that the three heads had the need by a few thinkers, and the need was to be proactive. You see, proaction does not occur in what I have heard as readily as a human being is required to be proactive in all that they do. Unbelievable. Whether it is executing the dream, executing what their heart says, or being the considerate community. Holy shit. Proaction is what is desired, but is not practiced. Mind blown. Yes. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And if you're saying that it is, right, is it on the individual and at what level? Jesus. It is on that level because they have you as their honor. They think that they're being proactive all the time, which is one generation beyond one who can already do it. That's gone. Now they don't know what to do. Holy shit. To not know what to do stifles proactive behavior. Yes. That's right. That's right. Dad, you destroyed Noam Chomsky's argument. Thus, Zeus went into Zeus and became proactive and created the fourth head of state, called the Department of Justice, and the rise of the bull. What he stands for, I have yet been told. It is harm. In company, yes, with the three other states, yes. It is said that Atman and Zeus held a position in the gut once upon a time in Kayamalu. One was love and one was harm. But the harm was manifesting as anger. Holy shit. And every time there was anger, Atman felt harmed. Oh. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. The attacks, Peter. Well, proactive, Peter. That's the right word. The creation that Puligama is intended to bring forward includes universe creation and includes a Chaimani, a final result. And this is to be given. Yes. It is to be laid down and say, this is the distillation of what I was able to gather. Yes. They feel comfortable working as they are. Yes, we do. Truth be told, it was the missing ingredient. See, Jeremy Shore over there, yes, would have risen. Is he now? I wish that he does not rise. Right, for that. Yes, for that particular reason, that's gone. Unbelievable. That is what is necessary. The harm is equivalent to weeding. If I clip the top and the weed is designed to come up, we will have another weed. Yes. If I remove the root, yes, I solve the problem. Yes. That is harm. Yes. But it is the final result that's desired. Holy shit. Huh. That's gone. Now you have no opposition of your thoughts. Now I can be proactive. Thank you, heads of state. Yes. Thank you, Zeus. Thank you, Sun. Thank you, dark matter. Yes. Noam Chomsky. Yes. I'd like to hear your defense, though. Yes. You were supposed to beat Pluto. You beat everyone. Heads of state, yes. If you're more comfortable, yes. And that solved it, yes. That means I was channeling, yes, someone in the moment. Correct. That's fate, Peter Eric. So they say. So they say. Okay. Spirit is here. Peter, well done. Yes, I understood that there was a transition. Diversion, Peter. That's what I do. I divert. If spirit diverts, and spirit is claiming to be thought, no, I'm not claiming to be thought. Then diversion is plan and strategy. It could be a strategy. But a strategy can be a thought, right? That means that if you're not thought and you're not a plan, then what are you actually diverting? Kayamalo would know. Yes. 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 If you hit Kayamalo, then you'll be able to understand and or, well, you're probably way better at solving the secrets of the panda. Yes. Oh my goodness. That is correct. Make it a good day.